Hey, what's up, guys? Pine Belt Beer Reviews back here again with you today for another one. And this one here that I'm doing today is a bit of a revisit, but also kind of a different edition of this same beer that I've reviewed on here before. It's Yeungling's Black and Tan. This one in the 16-ounce can. I did not realize that they come in. I knew they came in like 12-pack cans. I didn't realize that they came and the 16-ounce cans, like the six-pack of the pint cans, like the regular Yeungling traditional lager comes in, which I was seeing all the time, and I'd buy it all the time. You know, as a go-to beer. I just saw these ones in the kind of one of the gas stations. I just kind of go to pick this kind of beer up the other about a week ago or so, and decided to go ahead and absolutely grab it because Yeungling, the Black and Tan in particular, is one of my favorite go-to beers. So with that pour into this, just poured into a 20-ounce, one of these nautical pint glasses that hold these 16-ounce cans so well. I mean, it's going to get 4.5 fingers of head, really sudsy, kind of tan head, the sort of head that you see from these kind of beers that stick around, and then they don't really cling too much to the glass, though, and they end up becoming very slippery and kind of fade away fairly quickly after that. The color is a kind of black-looking kind of color on the screen there. It's actually more of a very, very dark kind of hazel or very dark kind of chestnut brown, getting a lot of ruby red through the glass here, straight through the body. I can see the light behind it. With a lot of kind of, again, ruby red kind of color coming through from the light. It's very clear looking. It is like a black and tan style, so it's premium sort of premium. I think they like just beer. It's usually like a European ale, porter and premium beer. So it's like the Yeungling regular lager, I'm assuming, and then the Yeungling porter, which they have a Yeungling porter just on its own. I have not been able to even find that one yet, though I'm sure it'd be pretty solid for what it is. This gets a 3.4 on Untapped. It is 4.6% ABV, and as you can see, it's just sticking around with the head there fairly nicely, but it will dissipate after some time. Right now, it's looking really nice and soft. So let's go ahead and go for the aroma. It should be letting some of that through this head now. The aroma is sweet, dark fruits, kind of figs, you know, kind of almost sort of brown ale kind of aroma, porter type of aroma, dark roasty malts, kind of, again, sweet, kind of dark, you know, brown sort of bread aroma. Like I said, dark fruits, so I get sort of like figs and, you know, plums, dates, which basically, you know, also, I think, no, those are, what are the dried plums called? Not dates, something else maybe. Anyway, I'm getting all this sort of dark fruits in this, yeah, a little bit of like that sort of, just sort of brown, kind of sweet sort of brown bread kind of aroma coming through, and then those darker fruits and a good bit of maltiness. So let's go straight into the flavor with this one. Flavor is nice and solid, meaning all the way through from the front to the finish. Just has a really nice, just sort of dark beer sort of flavor to it. Just a basic dark beer sort of flavor that's really does for like a black and tan or just dark beer in general what I think personally the Yeungling traditional lager does for just a good, just sort of go-to standard beer, you know, standard lager that's just great for hot weather. This in itself is actually fairly refreshing too, which I like about it a lot. I can kind of drink it even if it's a little warm out, like it is today. It's getting up towards 90 degrees here in Mississippi now. It took it a while for the cold weather to finally move along this year, but now it's starting to get towards what you would expect it to feel like in May. April was fairly chilly still through most of April. Now May is starting to finally get some of that sort of summertime heat coming in here, humidity and all that. So with this, the black and tan, it's still fairly refreshing, still crisp enough. But it still has that roasted malt, sweet kind of dark fruits also coming through that I get from the aroma. A little more subtle though from the than it is with the aroma. Um, drinkability is really good. The other kind of flavors that I am getting from this, not really so much any coffee or anything like that that you get from some porters or anything, but you get that just sort of roasted malt, basic kind of roasted malt flavor profile that you get from a porter rather than a stout is actually when you kind of see more of like the coffee flavors, at least with American stouts coming through. This one just has that nice roasted dark malt flavor. I think the crispness is coming a bit from just the beer that's in this, but it has a fairly nice full finish as well that kind of goes all the way through to the back of the palate, and then kind of just you get a long finish with it, which is good. The mouthfeel is also actually a bit medium on the medium side. But again, still light enough to kind of offers a good drinkability. Um, Carbonation is a little flatter than you'd find with a regular beer, but it's still fairly carbonated, still nice and crisp, feeling on the palate. Uh, and the 4.6 ABV really, helps this one out to be a drinkable dark beer as it is. So for me, the Yingling Black and Tan, as I said at the beginning of the video, is one of my favorite go-to beers, and with the canned version in particular, since this is kind of a revisit though with the canned version, it actually there's like for me there's some beers that taste better than they do. At least some of these like macro kind of large scale brewed beers, such as like for example Miller High Life, to me does not taste as good coming out of the can as it does coming out of the bottle. For me, like the Miller, like High Life out of the bottle tastes much better than it does out of the can. Yeungling tastes the regular traditional lager tastes better to me out of the can than it does out of that green bottle that they have. Maybe it's that green bottle that has something to do with that. I don't know. And also in conjunction with that, the black and tan out of a can actually does taste better to me than it does out of the bottle, which also is good though, coming out of the bottle. I like it. I like the black and tan out of the bottle more than I do the regular lager the Yeungling lager coming out of the bottle. This one though is definitely a step up flavor-wise for me coming from the can. I think it's to do probably something with the more sealed up nature of the can that has that dark beer in it that kind of holds more of that dark beer flavor. That's could be a case, could be something completely different going on with it, but the can is actually my preferred kind of way of drinking it now, other than it being having to be on tap or something, which I don't really ever see it on tap or anything. But I give the Yeungling Black and Tan a solid A, and as far as macro brewed, dark beers go, especially blended beers like a black and tan. It's really well done, I think, from the Yeungling Brewery Company. So I definitely recommend checking it out, and I'll hold the label up here one more time so you can see it, and so I can get a good screenshot opportunity here. But definitely recommend picking it out. Again, solid A for me for the Yeungling Black and Tan out of the can this go around. So until next time, guys, thank you for watching.